Well, welcome everybody again. It's Wednesday. It's 1 o'clock. It's our rendezvous, weekly rendezvous, and this week we are talking music. How does one decide to go from pastoral life to opera life?
I come from a family of four. There's four of us kids, and our mother was very theatrical and dramatic, even within the Salvation Army, and the four of us would be putting on little plays when we didn't know that we had a choice. I had this empathy towards people, but this love of art and music. But then someone pointed me towards opera, and it was like a wider net. It tends to be that musicals are generally more American, whereas opera is a worldwide phenomenon. And so the colors of an orchestra and the power of opera singers just really took me over, and it was a world that I was really excited to learn more about.
I start by learning the notes and then the words, and then I don't know what it is about music, and it's probably because it underscores the emotional side of the character, that it takes you on this journey anyway, and you end up feeling those feelings. We did an opera about 10 years ago, or maybe a little bit less, and it was Turn of the Screw, and Joel had this image of this scene, and I said, no, I disagree. And he's like, well, I'm the director. So you have to listen to me.
Because of this epidemic against the grain, we've taken a lot of what we've done, we've pivoted, and we're putting a lot more content online, and a lot of that was started with the virtual salon that we did with you guys. We used to take traditional opera and then put a spin on it to try to make it more relevant and contemporary, but now we're starting to dive into more contemporary opera and new opera. In March, we would have had and into April, we would have had our first original commission of a brand new opera that we had to postpone, and we're hoping that it will happen sometime soon, and it would have featured the first transgendered opera singer in Canada. But what we did was, as a group, over 3 years, we looked at music that spoke to the singers, and so the reference was Handel's music. And so, for example, Miriam chose a piece of music from Alcina and found stories in our current news feeds of refugees and people who were displaced or dehumanized. And what I did was I took the text of people who spoke in these news articles and put that into Handel's music. It was diving into cultural and relevant and social issues, again, sort of full circle back to my background, which I think people who were used to our companies were expecting the funny La Bohemes and the Mozarts, and they're like, where are those? Those are the things that we liked, right. But we really wanted to get into a bit more of the political and see what that felt like for us.
It also kind of brought a new purpose and a new kind of perspective on things, which makes it, you kind of realize that nothing really matters in a way more than your family.
I think this, in a lot of ways, has been a good moment for us to sort of reprioritize what is important in this time when things are taken away from you. And I would much rather have opera taken away from me than my family.
Yeah.
So that certainly rebalanced the scales for us.
Have a great week. It looks, at least in Canada, that spring has arrived. Enjoy, and thank you again, Joel and Miriam. It was lovely to have you. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.